Hi Stampers, it's Nancy from stampindshout.com. I recently made this centerfold card and I thought I would show you how easy it is to make. I have two 80th birthdays coming up in December, my sister-in-law, so I made her this card, and my brother, and that's the card we're going to make. So you got an idea of how to make the feminine version. And with this one, I used the new Fitting Florets Designer Series paper. And then the guy card, I used He's All That, the Designer Series paper, and the stamps. So this is the female card. You can see, or the female card. You can see how it kind of stands up like that. It's so pretty. It's so easy to make. You're going to be surprised. So for this, I used the die cuts. That's how I got this little oval on here and the pretty flowers. So let me show you what we're going to do with the guide card, and I'll show you the pieces that I used. So I'm using a Early Espresso card base that is 8 by 5.5, and I scored it at 3, 6, and 7. Then I have another piece of cardstock in the Early Espresso that is 3 by 6, and I scored it at 4.25. And then I have some scraps. And I have all these sizes on my blog on stampindshout.com. I have more of the Designer Series paper. I love this paper with the guide cards. My brother used to work for Ford, so I thought this card was going to be really a fun card for him. Let me just tell you a little bit about these two pieces that I cut out using the new Fitting Florets dies. So I used this die here, this big die. I'll put it on this dark paper here so you can see it. And when I cut that out, I got the outside frame and the inner and the oval. So this piece I'm going to save for later. I have a bunch of these pieces that I have saved. And then I have this one here, this die cut. And when I used that, I did it in the Early Espresso. I got my frame piece, and I also got this oval. So this is another piece that I will save for later. The reason I cut this oval out of the larger die is that it does give me a larger oval, and I find that it's easier to layer underneath that frame piece. So again, those are the dies that I used to create this. And when you cut this piece out, you will see that there's a nicer side with pretty little indentations, and then the other side. And either side looks okay, but there is one side that looks better. Again, I will have all that information on my blog if I forget to tell you the details. And I will have the paper that I used for both cards, so you'll be able to find all that. So for this card, let's go ahead and fold on our score lines. And you're going to want to use your bone folder to give it a nice crease, because you want this to stand up really nice and you don't want it kind of cockeyed and all that. So make sure we do that. This one we're going to flip-flop the way we fold it. So there's the first fold. Kind of going to fan it. Let me fold this one. When I get it all done, I'll show you how it's folded. And then this one, I'm going to fold it the opposite way. So again, that's why you want to use your bone folder. So you want to make sure you give it a nice crease. And I'm just going to make sure it's really creased well. Okay, so that's basically that part of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and layer these pieces. These two are going to be for the inside, Sahara Sand and Very Vanilla. Again, I'm going to have the sizes on there, but this is 5.25 by 2 3/4, and then this is a 1/4 inch smaller, so it's 2.5 by 5. Then for the Designer Series paper, I went ahead and I'm going to mat all of my pieces, but you do not have to do that. If you want, you can just lay these pieces right on your cardstock, and it's going to look really, really pretty, but I decided to mat mine. So I will give you all those sizes, both sizes, in my blog tomorrow. So basically, this layer here, the mat is 2 3/4 by 5.25, and the Designer Series paper is a 1/4 inch smaller, so it's 5 by 2.5. So I'm going to go ahead and get all our pieces put together. So this piece here is 2 3/4 by 4, and this would be 2.5 by 3 3/4. Again, don't worry about those sizes. I will put them on my blog. So I'm just putting all the pieces on those mats. And I have this little strip here. This is 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then this one is 1/2, or it's a little bit bigger. It's probably 3/8 by 5. You could do a 1/2 inch, but I just made it just a little bit wider. Okay. So let me do this piece here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this piece and put this on the inside ahead of time, just so it's all done. So I'm using the stamp that says Happy Birthday to a Classic, but I'm going to put something on the front that says you're a classic. So I'm going to tape over the words to a classic on here. So I'm just putting a piece of tape, and then I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to remove the tape, and then I'm going to stamp. So I'm going to stamp this in Early Espresso. So this is going to be for the inside. So I taped over the words that I don't want showing, inked it up really well. Now I'm going to remove that tape. And that's the most important part, is to remove that tape, which is now stuck to my finger. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp this right in the middle of the inside piece. See, there we go. Perfect. So just clean this stamp off really quick, get this out of the way, and we'll finish putting our card together. So this piece is going to go on the inside, so I can go ahead and layer that to my mat piece. Again, if you don't want to use the mat pieces, you don't have to on this. But I figured for an 80th birthday card, I want it to be nice and just really, really pretty, so I'm going to go ahead and layer it. So this can go on the inside. Just like that. Now, for this piece, what we are going to do, so that's the fold is going up. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put some tear and tape on the back. So I'm going to put one down here at the bottom. Actually, I'm going to put two down here at the bottom. Just like that. And then one up here at the top of this piece. Okay. Let me go ahead and put some more layers on here before we attach this. So now my cards are going to go right there. And then this little strip is going to go at the bottom. I was just looking to see which way I wanted my lines to go. Okay. Now, this piece, we got the long piece and the short piece. The long piece is going to go in the front. Now you have a choice. You can make it a centerfold card, or you can put it off to the side, whichever way you like. Let me go ahead and put this on here so you can see a little bit better. Just like that. Okay. So your card's going to be like that, and you have the choice of where you want to put this, and I want mine to go right in the center. So I'm going to take off this tear and tape. And I'm going to look. I actually measured this when I did this earlier. So let me kind of look. So it's going to go right to the bottom of your card. In the center. Just like that. Now this piece, so let me show you this. I know I'm flipping this around really fast. So I'm going to close up my card and turn it over. And then this piece here, we're just going to fold it over on the score line and it'll go exactly where it needs to go. So again, close your card up, turn it over, take off the tear and tape, and just close it just like that. And that's how you make it, just like that. So now I'm going to decorate the front really quickly. So I got my two little pieces that I showed you earlier. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this frame. I'm going to go ahead and attach this oval. Then I have this little sticker that came from the He's the Man suite. This has a stamp set and it has the dies and it has the pretty little paper, which you can still get. So I am going to go ahead and just deciding if I want to put it all together and then pop it up. I think I will. So I'm going to go ahead and put my letters on here. So this, I cut out the word or the numbers 80, and I did this out of an old set. It's called the Playful Alphabet set, which I absolutely love. And if you don't have that and you happen to have the Alphabest set, you could use the stamps for that and use that. Or you could put whatever design you want. You could just put a stamp that says happy birthday. And again, on this one, I stamped the sentiment on there, and then I added all the little flowers from that designer series paper. So I think I'm going to put the word, just deciding here, I'm going to pop this up, I think. This, You're a Classic, on dimensionals. And we're almost done. So again, visit my blog. I'll have all the sizes and the supplies that I used. If you'd like a make and take for this, I will send you out the pieces so you could make your own card. And just with the purchase at my online store. And if that's done by Friday, I will send you out a make and take so you can make one of these cards for yourself. Oh, I definitely like that popped up. So for this, I am going to just put a little bit of glue on here. I'm going to take some of that glue off and just glue this down. I usually dab the extra glue off on my silicone mat, which is somewhere here on my desk. Nice. Okay. So that's going to go right in the center like that. And I'm going to pop it up. I'm going to put an extra 2 in the middle here. So if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you click the notification bell, whenever I do another video, you will be notified. And if you like my video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. So we're going to pop that up right there. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. So there's the inside. And I think what I'm going to do, I got to find them really quick. I'm not going to do it on camera. You can see I put a couple of the little emblems on here, the little gold sequences. I'm going to put a couple of the metallic ones that go with this He's the Guy, He's the Man set. So there you go. There are your centerfold fancy fold cards and the framed florets. That's a new item that you can get. And I hope you liked my video. Come back next week. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout.